Have you ever wanted to just sit down and talk to your favorite guitar player and ask them the questions that you've always wanted to ask them, but to their face? Well, I had the chance to do that with one of my favorite guitar players, top Nashville session player, Brent Mason. And I asked him a few things that I've really always wanted to know, and I've never really heard anyone else really ask him. I think you'll like this as well. Some great answers here. Let's check it out.
Yeah, I'm just playing simple stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny when you go to the music store and everybody's playing all their chops and, you know, ripping it off and shredding and stuff.
Right.
I just go. That's the only way I can tell it. I'm playing simple stuff to just see how the amp performs or the guitar, you know.
So you're in a music store.
Okay.
People see you walk in. You play a couple chords.
Right.
Do you get people coming up going, dude, play the Hot Wired song? Or anything like that?
Once in a while, yeah. I do that. It blows the whole vibe for me because I come in there to find a guitar and then I end up talking, you know, not that I'm not sociable or anything or an a-hole.
Right.
I just, you know, I'm zeroed in on buying a guitar and then somebody comes in, hey, you want to play it on, you know, Shania Twain? That sounds like that sound, that same, you know, yeah. So, you know, because you got guys that come in the music store, they grab a guitar and they're shredding, they're playing all their hot licks, and that's all you hear in the music store.
That's the gig for the night, right?
Yeah, it's like, when I go in to buy a guitar, I'm playing the simplest sounds. I'm just hitting a chord and seeing how it responds, you know.
If I had to guess, that's probably what more of a professional player would do, though, right? Like, because you're not in there to show off. You're not getting paid for it. So, I mean...
I'm not in there to play all my #1 hits, you know.
Well, I think a lot of people would agree with me that you have a knack for whatever song you're playing, you just always seem to come up with the right part on the spot. It's like, all right, we need a part here, play something, Brent, and it's always the right thing. How does one develop their ear to do that?
Oh, that's a good question. I never had that question. That's a pretty good question. It's just whatever I feel that hits me at the time when they play the song, and I feel that this might be the part, I play it. Now, the artist may say, no, I wasn't going in that direction. So all of a sudden, you just put that on the back shelf and look for something else. But in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, what would make a hit song? You know, what is something memorable that people hear on a guitar that they, you know, when they hear it come on the radio, they hear the intro, it goes, hey, that's such and such song. That's my favorite song. Listen to this. You know, it catches the ear. I'm not looking how to dazzle guitar players and you know, and try to be, you know, make it a musician's musician record, you know.
Right.
I'm thinking that it's got to capture the audience out there, that wide span of certain genre. Whatever genre that may be, you know, I try to fit it into that as well.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this. I'm going to take this. So this is a Brooks and Dunn song. I know you know this because you just played this. Most people that I've heard play it, or at least me, for example, whenever I first learned it, I learned it like this. I need a finger pick.
That's good.
Well, but when I heard you play it, there was so much more going on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not playing that.
Right here. Got it. That's a steel guitar lick. I'm not sure if you... But I think I went... But if I'd have had a chance to do that, I would always play it the way I thought I should have played it on the record, but I didn't.
Interesting.
But the only movement there is this. Now that's the solo, that's not the intro.
Right, that's the solo. I've been playing that wrong my entire life.
The only reason I remember that is because I was given a Skype or Zoom lesson or something, and I had to relearn it to show somebody it. But the ending went like this. But I only played that because I thought that might be
that sounds good. It sounds
cooler.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you ever re-record that, maybe do that then.
Most solos that I do, I play it once and I never play it again.
Right. And so I think a lot of people probably don't understand that if they see you playing somewhere, like Andy Wood's Woodshed event, for example.
Right.
I know there's people that come up to you and say, hey, how did you play such and such song? And you're like, I haven't played that for 25 years. I have no idea.
I have no idea. I have to go back and relearn.
Right. But to them, they've been listening to it for 25 years.
Yeah.
And so like
they know them better than I do.
Yeah, they're like, no, this is how you play Chattahoochee. But I mean, the reason why I ask you that is because even on something that's kind of a fairly simple, not simple, a very melodic solo.
Yeah, see that's
but you're adding stuff into it.
That's what I was explaining earlier. You know, making licks not too complicated for Ethel and Harry out there. When they're listening to it, they want to be able to hum it and sing it.
Yeah.
But yeah, just simple C stuff. And that I could have went. Something, and it was like, no, too complicated.
Too many notes.
Yeah, right.
So that's really helpful to understand how you're approaching it from an ear perspective. I wish there was a way to put into words how to create the hit song, because like you said, I'm just trying to make it a hit song. How is kind of a big question, And that's a whole video unto itself. What about sound-wise? For those that are just trying to play your stuff, maybe they're playing a cover gig and they're just really trying to get tonality. What would you tell someone trying to get that sound, your sound?
Well, it's always using a Fender amp for one thing, and pretty low tech. Finding a good compressor and a delay or something, a little slap, maybe one repeat on a slap. It's just like here. It's just got one. So you got. See that little slap?
Yeah.
And a Fender tube amp, I'm using a deluxe. Sometimes if you're in a big venue, that doesn't push it enough. A blackface twin or a Princeton in the studio. Any of those things will give you that sound. It's pretty much a tube Fender sound personality that comes out of the guitar. And a great guitar, of course, it sounds great on the back pickup or front pickup, and has a good twang to it. Got a little. Playing it back here. Right, but it still has. It's got some fat.
Still body to it.
But it's got bite to it as well.
What about your touch? Is your touch a lighter touch or more?
No, I was surprised how hard I play when I was watching I did some of this at the office, people watching me record.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm going, damn, I didn't know I played that hard, And some songs you don't have to play hard, when you're playing, soft. You barely just kind of brush the strings, But for the most part, I play really hard. And maybe I don't need to all the time, but that's just me. So it has a lot of punch.
But you kind of need to kind of get some of that poppy.
Yeah. Yeah, I use my first finger for that popping thing. I use the first finger. These have fake fingernails on them. This one was just, I use the meat of the finger for the popping. Almost like a funk bass, You know,
Right.
so that's where you get the pop stuff.
Right.